Howdy-o, everyone! Velocity here, back in action, playing more of Fate Excel Attraction. And that's right, we're picking up on the last one of the main three, the Dawn arc, Compodium Dawn, where we actually get to see the new character, Altera. Although she's not new to me, just new to this game and the universe. Point being, this is her game. This is supposed to be her game. And honestly, I'm kind of hyped because, like, one of her DLC outfits is really cute. Let's review the facts, the scholar said to me. Earth scientists have hypothesized so-called parallel worlds, other versions of Earth and its surroundings, expanding indefinitely like mirrored reflections. If true, that would mean the Earth has not only one future, but many. In other words, think of it like this. The you in that you are aware of exists somewhere upon this timeline. It might sound unreal. Humans aren't equipped to perceive, let alone traverse, the wall between worlds. But what if I put it another way? Think of these parallel worlds as other possibilities. Imagine what might have been in your life. Think of the connections that were cut off and thrown away. Options you see now, in retrospect, that you would never have considered at the time. Picture how your life today might be different had those what-ifs come to pass. All those variant futures in everyone's lives make up the vast array of parallel worlds. Your actions, those of the you in the present moment of this particular timeline, can change the world in any number of ways. That proves such possibilities are alive, and that your world exists on the proper axis. Controversially, a world where the future cannot be changed, regardless of your choices, can have no parallel worlds. Such a world is nothing but a dead end, solidarity and singular, with a past as immutable as its future. This is a necessary evil, a byproduct of the way parallel worlds are structured together. After all, a world where humanity made radically different choices would bear very little resemblance to the world you know. Some worlds may have crumbled by making all the worst choices. Others may have made all the right ones and rocketed ahead. Perhaps too far ahead. In either case, the world can no longer be said to resemble ours, and once a world moves out of sync, it is no longer parallel. Why would those worlds become solitary, you ask? Could the people in those worlds not still have different choices? Unfortunately, no. This dimension contains a finite amount of energy, and has none to spare for creating new worlds from the worlds gone so far astray. Oh. If parallel worlds continue to increase in this manner, their number would eventually exceed the capacity of this dimension. Parallel worlds must exist, but in a manageable quantity. By any own rough calculations, and judging by the civilization of Earth alone, this solar system would collapse within 100 years if the parallel worlds expand without limits. Seeing as how we do, in fact, live and multiply, the solar system is clearly not oversaturated with possibilities at this time. I extrapolate that this dimension can sustain our existence for the next 100 million years. The system works thusly. At regular intervals, the dimensions take stock of the possibilities it contains and only allows certain outcomes, those that would not cause undue difficulty and managing the next generation to remain. As for the unneeded parallel worlds, the system closes off their futures. Specifically, every 100 years, it calculates how many worlds will last another 100 years, and supports those worlds only. Have you heard of the law of conversion of mass? This could be called the law of conversion of events. When did this game become 999? Oh! And so, the civilizations in these numerous parallel worlds line up with one another. Think of it all as a giant tree. Only the trunk at the center can grow tall. The branches may bear fruit, but eventually they reach their limit and fall without reaching the future. You understand, yes? There are no parallel worlds for a world that has evolved too fast or crumbled too quickly. Such worlds are merely dead ends, whose outcomes are predetermined. And so, there is a set time frame at which these branches are trimmed, extra possibilities are removed, and future histories, once fluid, turn to stone. The mages of the old world call this time frame the foundation of humanity. Whoa. Such laws apply to the moon cell as well. The moon cell is a self-updating observatory, which continues to record every incident and possibility on Earth. You could say it makes the same observations on parallel worlds. It's all quite vexing. But in any case, the so-called foundation of humanity governs the moon, just as it does the Earth, tracking the various Spiritron worlds and determining where their futures will come to an end. Once one passes that event horizon, there is no turning back, nor turning aside. All lingering ifs become might have beens. It is the work of a great invisible hand. No, of a god's invisible hammer. I have named this point in time the quantum time lock, the event contemplation set by an absolute observer. I vaguely remember being there for that long lecture. I passed through a deep, deep darkness for so long I felt my consciousness fade. To the end of Sephram, and then one set foot into the forbidden territories, where even the light of the moon cell could not reach.
まずはここまでたどり着けました。あなたのおかげです。この壁の向こうが未明領域。遥かな過去に虚空より飛来し、ムーンセルに食い込んだ優勢の内部です。本来ならシステム管理者である私でさえ立ち入れない領域。ですが、あなたの助力があれば別だ。気持ちの整理はよろしいですか？セラフを守るため、あなたはこの中にいる外敵を排除しなければならない。それが聖杯戦争に勝利し、ムーンセルからレガリアを授かったあなたの義務。よろしいですね。
Why don't you do it?
いや、何をおっしゃる。私ではレガリアは扱えない。それにほら、頭脳労働担当ですから、私。
Manslut. I nod in agreement and look up at the wall again. It's huge. Sephram has its giant structures, but it's still rare to see anything on this scale. The bizarre architecture gives me that impression of a prison, capable of holding tens of thousands of prisoners. I feel an urge to touch the wall. It's hard as diamond, but smooth as silk? Normally Sephram only builds objects out of the same materials found on Earth. The touch alone tells me that the stone came from somewhere else. There's no doubt this belongs to an innovator. Something from beyond Earth, made from pseudo spiritrons. Just as Archimedes said, it's an external threat. Afraid anyone would be. Inside this place sleeps a monster who nearly destroyed both the Earth and the Moon. And now they expect me One lone sage? One lone mage to defeat it? Only saber were here.
仕方がないのです。強力なサーバントを連れてきては、ここに着いた時点で敵に感知されてしまう。どれほどのトップサーバントであれ、ムーンセルに作られたものでは優勢の先兵にはかなわない。勝算はただ一つ。怪物が目覚める前にレガリアの力で倒すのみ。そのためにあなたに来てもらったのです。あなただって負けると分かりきった戦いにサーバントを投入したくはないでしょう。
What was that?
中にいる怪物の寝息でしょう。やれやれ、全くおぞましいことこの上ない。ですがこれで私の正しさは証明されました。私とあなただけなら敵に気づかれない。寝首をかくにはもってこいです。この亀裂から侵入しましょう。物音を立てないよう細心の注意を払って。
Okay. Oh no, I gotta be barefoot though.
時間と空間があやふやですね。焼けた飴のようだ。ここは限りなく広いようで限りなく狭い構造なのでしょう。捕食優勢ベルバーは1万4000年前この太陽系に現れました。それがこの構造体です。優勢はかけらとなって月の裏側に刺さり、物理的にムーンセルの内部に食い込んでしまった。内部からのハッキングですね。かけらはムーンセルのネットワークに接触し、このように疑似量子の世界に自分の領域を作った。ムーンセルは侵食してきた優勢のかけらをネットワークから遮断、光の届かない未明領域とすることで侵食を食い止めた。しかしそれが限界でした。ムーンセルはムーンセルを守れても地上までは守ることができなかった。優勢はムーンセル内のリソースを利用し、地上に自分のデータを送り、マテリアルボディを構築した。それが1万4000年前に地上を滅ぼした白い巨人、セファールと呼ばれるアンチセルです。この先にいるのはその本体。文明を破壊するためだけに生まれた怪物。いいですね。くれぐれも用心し、気を許さないように。セラフを守り、斧がサーバントのもとに無事に帰りたいのなら、決してためらわないことです。
Ooh, party. I gasp at that unexpected view. Beyond the darkness is not only alien hellscape, but an old cave? It wouldn't be out of place anywhere else in Sephron.
惑わされないように。これは地球の風景を再現しただけのもの。優勢の本質ではありません。まあ、あなたの気持ちは理解できますよ。私も意外すぎて目を疑ったものです。地上を滅ぼした巨神がまさかこんな金銀財宝に埋もれた部屋に封じられているなんて。
Treasure, gold. The floor of the cave is buried in it. A vast, endless mountain of gold, of coins, clicking and falling as we walk. The shining hoard reflects the light that streams it from the ceiling, softly illuminating the room. Amidst all the treasure is a giant altar. Heard rumors of a Mayan temple somewhere underground on Earth. This cave definitely reminded me of some lost world relic. But I don't see any sign of an enemy. The altar seems like the most likely place to look.
静かに。音を立てて歩かないで。敵はもう目の前だと言ったでしょう。気をつけるのです。
The enemy's already in front of us? Oh? Big girl? No. It can't be. As my eyes lift slowly upwards, I try to breathe as quietly as I can. There. Giant woman! A titan with white hair and dark skin, is sleeping on top of the altar. I literally can't believe my eyes. It's not that I'm terrified. It doesn't even feel frightening at all. It's just, I'm not used to seeing anything that huge, and my perception can't keep up. I've seen a number of strange or giant weapons before in the past. I know I've seen things much more terrible than what's in front of me now. But even so, none of it compares. The impact of seeing it slams through my head and leaves me paralyzed. In some distant, abstract way, I'm ashamed of myself. Humans can accept the existence of all kinds of other creatures, but the idea of a grander human feels like a threat to our own very existence.
これほどの質量とは、なんということか。こんなものは今の人類の手に余る。アルタミラの石碑、セファールの巨人。これが月すらも滅ぼす異様。さあ、今すぐ攻撃を。レガリアでムーンセルの力を引き出し、あの首を断ち切るのです。
Nah, I'm gonna stick with the giant woman. I've always wanted one. As hard as I'm shaking right now, I could barely hear Archimedes screaming at me. I'm in awe. Same awe people must have felt when they saw their gods in ancient times. I've almost forgotten how to breathe. But I can't freeze up forever. This is it. Right in front of me, the vanguard of the umbral star itself. Destroyer of the earth and the moon. I come to my senses and pull back. No, I shouldn't do it. I can't quite explain why, but killing it like this feels wrong. Yes! Oh, she's so cute! Yeah, look at her eyes. The ground shakes. The mountain rises. Her movements are so dignified and graceful that I still barely believe what I'm seeing. The cave's atmosphere changes. I can feel a blackness eating away at my heart. I can feel myself being crushed under terrible eyes. My eyes are working, but I feel like I'm just gone blind. Whatever it is, it's enormous. I can't take it all in at once. This itself is a piece of the umbral star? The earth-ravaging titan? The absolute threat to humanity? It's waking up. And it knows we're here.
おはようございます。あなたはどなた？
She's so cute! She's just like, hey, hi, how are you doing? I love her. Can I keep her? Please? Yes and no, I'm an intruder, but her words are calm and articulate.
早くレガリアを。セファールはまだ目覚めきっていない。今ならまだ間に合う。早く、一刻も早くこの怪物の息の根を止めるのです。
Nah, I kind of want the giant woman. Archimedes' repeated warnings echo in my head. But is she really a monster? I can't hurt her. There's no way. I don't feel any hostility from her. No intent to kill. The Titan, Zephyr, as Archimedes calls her, doesn't seem to want to hurt us at all. In fact, it's just the opposite. I feel embarrassed that we came to kill her just because of her size. She's trying to be considerate towards us. She's keeping her movements as slight as possible in order not to scare us. She's waiting for us to make a move. In other words, now's the time to talk to her. Yeah, I love this protag so much. They fucking get it. They get it 110%. Giant woman. You don't just pass up on that deal, Archimedes. Don't pass up on that deal.
バカな、何を言っているのです。あなたはムーンセルの代理人、レガリアを授かったセラフの開拓者だ。確かに恐れるのも当然でしょう。相手はただ人型をしただけの人間とは異なる異形なのですから。だが倒すしかない。囚われた我々が自由を得るにはそれしかない。あなたがあれを倒すしかない。
Yeah, but what if she makes me her prisoner? Be hot.
だってそうでしょう。そのためのレガリア、そのためのムーンセルなのだから。
レガリア、そう、ムーンセルは自閉を選んだのですね。当然の選択とはいえ芸のないこと。となると、そうか、私と戦うというのか、お前は。そのために我が信頼に忍び込んだのだな。
He's such a cutie. The Titan's eyes fill with hostility. Her consideration is gone. I can see she's a true warrior, and I'm not. Now that she's identified a threat, I know she'll show no mercy.
愚かすぎます。アリが人間に挑むどころの話ではありません。アリが巨人に挑むようなものでしょうに。
Girl, you're making me like having to change my.
まったく相変わらず人間は無駄なことだけが好きなのですね。
She shows no hesitation. She turns her body one way, and that's just misdirection. Then she reaches down, a ridiculously giant hand, and grabs me with the force of an avalanche. Finally, I accept my fate. This is how I have to go, this is how I have to go. It's impossible to dodge. This isn't even a battle. She just grabs me and squeezes all the air out of my lungs, clamping me between her fingers. I feel her raising me high off the floor. I try to resist, but I can't move a single muscle. My body creaks and cracks in protest. Am I really gonna be squeezed to death?
なんというあっけなさ。素晴らしい、実に素晴らしい。素晴らしいぞセファール。予想通りとはいえここまで簡単に済むとはな。痛快なことこの上ない。万が一のためにと身構えてはいたが、一撃であっさり終わって何よりだ。そしてお疲れ様。ごきげんよう、愚かな神王よ。ムーンセルも判断を誤ったな。
I could hear Archimedes' voice. What is he saying?
まだ分かっていないのか。要はあれですよ。あなたは疑うことなく私に騙され、ここにおびき出されたのです。
Archimedes literally going, "You idiot! You absolute buffoon! You stupid doo-doo head! Have I got you? I got you!" Frankly, what seems to me is that I get to have women. Giant woman.
いやー、レガリア所持者があなたのような善人で本当に運が良かった。私欲にふける人間であれば誰も信用しなかっただろうからね。最後の教訓だ。覚えておくといい。悪人は世界を壊さない。ただ乱すだけだ。では壊すとしたらそれは誰か。
Archimedes, why are you so evil? Is it because he can't get laid or something? Like what?
無論言うまでもないことさ。いつだってお前のような善人が世界の根底を台無しにしてしまうのだから。さて、状況は把握できているなセファール。レガリアはまさにお前の手の中だ。サーバントでは破壊できないが、アンチセルであるお前なら破壊はたやすかろう。レガリアを破壊せよ。ムーンセルの機能をダウンさせ、ベルバーを呼び寄せる時が来た。
ベルバーを呼び寄せる。ムーンセル側のサーバントではないな。何者か。なぜこの人間を裏切った？
何？そんなことに関心を持つのか。破壊だけが鳥への巨神と聞いたが、余分かつ不要な機能だな。まあいいでしょう。私はアルキメデス、ムーンセルの元システム管理者ですよ。今はあなたと同じ優勢の到来を望む者、ベルバー側のサーバントに過ぎません。この体を見ればわかるでしょう。あなたと同じく優勢に体を預けているのですから。
Archimedes is Velber's servant? How could this happen? I know I'm not that smart, but I wouldn't have thought he was playing me for a fool. No, now's not the time to be angry at myself. Just have to get out of here. If I die now, like this, I'll never be able to show my face around Saber or the others again. Cool.
無駄なこと。それ以上あがいても苦しみが続くだけだとわからないのですか？
わからないのですよ、人間というものは。あらゆる断りを手にしていながら希望だの奇跡だのといった感情で目を背けるのですからね。まあそれも愚者にはふさわしい結末だがね。いいぞセファール、その不純物をレガリアともども握りつぶすがいい。
そうだな。レガリア所持者を生かしておく理由はない。私はムーンセルを破壊するのだから。
It's no use. I can't escape. I can't move an inch. It's as if the entire world is pressing against me. Another few seconds. They ground me. It's hopeless. Will I die? This is Archimedes planned. It's terrifying, obviously, but it's also infuriating. I feel like some sort of big, important chance is being taken away from me. That's it. This is wrong. It's not supposed to end here. I think back to when I first walked in and saw her. If Archimedes hadn't interfered, this whole encounter could have gone very differently. I think that was to mean something. I accessed the regalia. I search for a way to break out of the situation. I find one in a fraction of a second. A physical body cannot be transferred out of this territory, but the mind and soul can be split and transferred anyway. This is reckless. It's basically certain death. It might not save me, but at least I'll be out there. It's almost a kind of suicide, but all I want to do right now is disappear. I don't care. It's not like I have any other choice. Well, this isn't the first time I've been this desperate, and hopefully it won't be the last.
レガリアによる転移だと。いや、だがここは未明領域。転移はできない。できるとしたらそれはレガリアだけだ。所持者は決して。待て、正気か。そんな手を本気でやるというのか、あの娘は。
There it is. And now I'm green.
ログアウトしたものが2つ。一体何が？
ありえない。なんということだ。自暴自棄にも程がある。レガリアごと自分を3つに分けるだと。
自身をレガリアごと3つに。それはだな。なんという無茶を。
貴様がグズグズしていたからだ、セバール。なぜすぐに殺さなかった。あれは私たちの敵だったのに。
それは違う。私にあの人間を殺す気はなかった。
何？
確かに レガリア所持者を生かしておく理由はない。だが殺さない理由はできた。その礼を返すまで殺しはしない。あの少女は私のものです。
Yeah.
私の許しなくして触れることはできないと知れ。
God. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I need in life. I need a girl to just be like, you're my property and no one gets to touch you except for me. God, yeah, that's fucking hot. Altera kind of got up on the list of servants that I like, and I'm so glad that I have her. Like, legitimately.
なんだと貴様、それでも優勢の先兵か。図体ばかりかその思考も鈍いのか。自らの存在意義をたがえるなアンチセル。貴様は白い巨人、優勢の涙だろう。ベルバーを招くという使命は。
やかましいの、貴様は。使命は遂行する。私はムーンセルを征服し、地上を破壊する。その結果としてベルバーは来訪する。私の役割、存在には何もたがえていない。だが、お前は不快だ、アルキメデス。
Oh! She laser beamed his ass!
次は加減はしない。二度と私の前に現れるな。
Yes, I love our new protective giant girlfriend.
なんという無駄を。貴様も通りのわからぬバカ者か。
Pretty obvious from the first time I ever met her that she was very emotional.
まあいいさ。なんであれ貴様は優勢には逆らえない。貴様は貴様の思惑でムーンセルを落とすがいい。私は私のやり方でムーンセルを落とす。貴様はこの牢獄の中でその抜け殻を守っていろ。
I'm in a huge room. A sealed pit. Like a temple. An underwater cave. Or a prison. Why am I here? I don't know where I am. Or what happened to me, or even who I am at all. My back hurts. I can hardly breathe. I can't even move my body. My name. I do know my own name. But even now there's something my entire being is trying to tell me. I need to run. I need to get out. I don't need to know what's going on. I need to go now and figure it out. A Titan? I guess as I try to understand. I don't understand. Of course I don't. This is a dream. That's why my head feels so light. Anything could happen right now, but if I close my eyes, I'm sure I'll wake up. A Titan? Running through a sea of gold coins is hard enough, but no matter how far I run, the exit doesn't get any closer. The space has been altered somehow. I never reached the exit. I know it. If it were possible to leave, the Titan already would have.
懲りない人ですね。そう足元で騒がれては迷惑です。
Aww. She watching me, she'd be entertained. Her giant hand swoops down toward me. I remember an old fairy tale about a boy who climbed a beanstalk into the sky. He found a giant's house there and was caught by the giant himself. No, I can't escape. She's got me. The giant has me right in the palm of her hand. I can still breathe, but I can't move. She's going to kill me. I know it. A long moment passes in total silence. Then I dare to open one eye.
ほら、もう逃げられません。あなたは虜に したね。
Oh, what? I need a girl to say that to me. I look into her eyes. I see not a cold-blooded monster, but a being with reason and heart. On a side note, how did that story of the boy and the giant end again?
もしできるだけ注意を払ったのですが、もしやどこか怪我をされてしまったとか？
I fall back on her hand and shake my head to show that she didn't hurt me at all. The Titan lets out a sigh of relief.
私はアルテラ、この石室の主です。では、あなたの名前を教えてくださいますか？
I love her so much. Look at her. She's just lonely and needs somebody.